Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
We are back with another Stack Supplement Podcast where we run down all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. And compared to other weeks, I guess from January, it was a mild week. I didn't see too many huge stories. We still had a few bits of excitement here and there. We'll give you a rundown of some of those things that dropped, but as always, stay tuned to the website stack.com. Even some of the social media, we'll make sure we share everything on there first. But here's a nice little quick rundown. We're going to kick this episode off with Oatine, who Oatine is a UK functional company originally. They started out, they're an oat-based brand, hence the name Oatine. They started out with, I'm pretty sure it was oat-based snacks, and most known for their functional foods and protein snacks and protein bars. But they recently announced that they would be doing a more traditional sports nutrition line. Now, the brand had dabbled in protein powder previously, and as mentioned, protein bars, but it hadn't really stepped into that sports nutrition realm of things like pre-workouts, aminos, and so on. And that's exactly what Oatine's coming out with. It's a full sports nutrition lineup called Succeed. It's going to consist of 2 pre-workouts, one called Limitless, one called Voltage. And then there's an amino called Supreme BCA, which I assume is BCA based, and Evolve Creatine, obviously a creatine formula. And then you've got 3 protein powders. I believe one's called Oats and Protein. Then there's Dynamic and Diet Protein, all kind of separated with points of difference. The news this past week wasn't that the new Oatine's Succeed line is coming soon, but that we got to look at some of the supplements, and surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, I guess they're very simple. We took a look and shared details on 2 of the supplements, Dynamic and Limitless, and it kind of gives you a good idea on what you're going to be getting with the brand. We didn't really know too much about Succeed when it was launched by Oatine, other than the names and the categories they were taking on. With the look at Limitless, which is its pre-workout, and Dynamic, which is its blend style protein powder, well, not even blend, it's a whey concentrate based supplement. You get an idea on what the rest of the line is likely to look like. So it's a very straightforward selection of supplements. Limitless is it's a very simple pre-workout alongside caffeine, which is included at 200 milligrams. You get 6 grams of citrulline malate, which is a respectable amount. Not the biggest we've seen, and by far not the lowest we've seen. Then you get a very small 700 milligrams of taurine and 3 grams of beta-alanine, and that's really it. There's nothing, again, compared to the laundry list of ingredients we get in some other supplements. It's nothing, I guess, to write home about. It's nothing huge. We don't know the price, which is important on this, I guess. When you get things like this, I mean, yes, I can say it's nothing like Apollon's Hooligan or Glaxton's Specimen, but with pre-workouts like this and supplements like this in general, you do have to take price into account, because the brand could be aiming for a very small target market. I think a fellow UK brand, Explosive, like Oatine's out of the UK, they have 2 pre-workouts, and one is targeted and geared more towards a more cost-conscious consumer, although they do have that more premium supplement. So you get these kinds of things. You can get that more cost-conscious product without the more premium alternative, and then it's just a pre-workout that's really cheap. So you do need price with these ones. Unfortunately, we don't know what the prices on any of these supplements are. But yeah, it's an interesting one, very simple. And as mentioned, Dynamic was the other supplement we took a look at, which is, as mentioned, just a straightforward whey concentrate supplement, not a blend of concentrate and isolate, not a solo isolate. It's just pure whey concentrate, and it's also very high in carbohydrates. Typically, even with whey concentrate supplements, you see somewhere in the realm of 2 to 5 grams of carbs per serving. With Oat Succeeds Dynamic from Oatine, you're getting, I think it's 8 grams, 9.6 grams of carbs. So that's pretty damn high for a protein powder. I'm used to seeing it in the 2 to 5. When you get blends, it's more 2 to 3. When you get isolates, it's 1 to 2, sometimes less. But again, based on that, Dynamic and Limitless, I'm kind of getting a feel of what the rest of the line is likely to look like. Supreme BCA, as I mentioned, Ceramino. I suspect that's going to be just a BCAA. Voltage, which is also a pre-workout, like Limitless. I believe that's probably going to be sort of a very simplistic, like Limitless, but maybe with a few more exotic stems, higher energy ingredients. And then you have Evolve Creatine, which I suspect to be just a straightforward, maybe just pure creatine monohydrate powder. So you kind of get the good idea. This is what I say when we write stories a lot of the time. We say when brands come out or new series come out, when you take a look at one supplement, you can kind of get an idea on what the rest are going to be like. And this is kind of an indication of what, I guess, Succeed and the angle they're taking. So while it's going to be Oteen's first dive, I guess, into the sports nutrition world wholeheartedly, it's mostly going to be mainstream, very cost-conscious things. But with that said, we still don't know pricing, so we'll have to wait for that. But I don't imagine these things being premium priced, like Devastate of the Union at $45, $50, Apollon's Hooligan, and so on and so on. But yeah, that's we'll share more details as they come in on that line. I believe it's rolling out later this month. In the UK, of course, was Oteen, and probably more outlets and locations, I guess, as it grows in popularity and demand. For the next story, we're going to stay in the UK, and this is probably one of the exciting companies making some headlines lately, and it is Mountain Joe's. Now, Mountain Joe's underwent some pretty big developments last year. If you don't know the brand, it's a UK functional food company, and it was most known for coming out with the first ever Protein Rocky Road. Now, I had seen Protein Rocky Roads before. They were kind of known for, I guess, the first realistic Protein Rocky Road, and it was indeed a realistic. It was thick chocolate, solid chocolate, sweet little bits of nuts and marshmallows and all this. It was. I mean, the only thing that kind of separated it from your traditional Rocky Road was that sweetness and the chocolate, the realism. Outside of that, they nailed it. The consistency, the chunks, everything was there, and they did a couple flavors. But last year, Mountain Joe's basically dropped that. It dropped it completely, revamped its lineup, and relaunched itself with 3 different bars. There's a Millionaire's bar, a high-protein flapjack, and then the brownie. And the brownie, I've tried all of them. They're all pretty damn good. But as you can imagine, flapjacks being oat-based, they're all high-carb kind of thing. But damn tasty if you're looking for a bar in that's high in protein but not super low in calories. They're damn good, well worth picking up. The brownie especially was holy shit, so damn good. But yeah, so following all of that action, which went down, I think it was mid last year, just after, around in September. They've kind of been growing the brand, its reach and its distribution. And then this past month, Mountain Joe's basically kicked things up and basically started teasing a product. And that product was completely revealed last week. And it turned out to be an entirely new protein snack, similar to the flapjack and even Oteen to some extent. But it's an oat-based high-protein granola bar, which is something we've seen before, but a nice little unique addition to the Mountain Joe's lineup, basically expanding its family of functional foods and protein snacks into other formats and stuff. So it's a great addition and a fitting addition for a company who's, as I said, it's got these various types of snacks, all of which come in bar format, but none of them are your traditional doughy, crispy kind of chocolatey protein snack. So it's kind of a fitting addition, the protein granola bar, to be added where it doesn't fit that typical mold. It's got a wholesome whole food approach to it. It's made with dried fruits like apricots and cranberries, various seeds, and oats as well. So it's a nice fitting addition to the brand, as I said. But that's not all Mountain Joe's has coming. The reason I said that, kind of kicking things off and getting some excitement going, is the company has also started teasing a new flavor for its lineup, and that's going to be unveiled on Valentine's Day. And that is also going to be followed by, I think it's at least 1 or 2 new products. I'm hesitant to say 2. I know it's at least 1, might be 2, and they're all going to be teased and unveiled in the coming weeks. So you're looking at about 3 or 4 products from Mountain Joe's over the next few weeks, which is a big development shift, a big phase for the brand. As I mentioned, it was less than a year ago that they revamped their entire lineup. In fact, it's less than half a year ago. So to I guess continue down that path, continue down that different road, and push more into that realm. Like I said, the different formats and different styles of snacks. It's cool to see. It's fun to see, and I'm excited to see what else they bring. I think the protein granola bar might be the only entirely new product that they're teasing and releasing. But as always, stay tuned on the website. I'm pretty sure they'll be giving us the details as soon as they come in, and we'll get them up on the website, of course. Next up, we actually have another UK brand keeping the excitement in the news in the UK, and this is from Bulk. Now, Bulk, you may remember originally as Bulk Powders, who rebranded its entire lineup. I think it was mid-December. The website, I remember visiting it, and it just was completely different. Every product was different. Every item, every color scheme, everything had just been rebranded completely, and the brand switched to the name Bulk. There was no more Bulk Powders. It was just Bulk. The website was even switched to just bulk.com. Not an easy domain name to get, I imagine. But yeah, this over the past 7 days, the company introduced an all new kind of product with the DNA collection kit. And what this is, and this isn't something entirely new, but I think it's quite a unique offering from a supplement company, is it's basically, it is true to its name. It's a DNA collection kit. They send it out to you, follow the simple steps. I think it's less than 60 seconds, they said, to get everything they need. Send it back in 3 to 4 weeks, I believe, and they'll send you out a whole bunch of results and analysis on your body, your individual body, and they provide you with detailed information such as the sort of vitamins and minerals your body requires, natural genetic deficiencies in yourself, other things such as how prone you are to chronic inflammation, sensitivity to carbs and caffeine. It's a pretty intriguing little list, and I had, like I said, I have seen DNA test kits before, but I like the angle Bulk took with this one, where they've made it so that the results and the things that they're looking at and the information they're providing directly relate back to supplements themselves. Like I said, things like their vitamin deficiencies. So if you're a Bulk fan, you'll be able to be like, okay, I need vitamin this, vitamin that, mineral this, mineral that. So it's a nice way to, I guess, encourage fans, because yes, it would probably help them, encourage them to buy more, but it also may encourage them to buy less. They may be buying some of this and not need it. It's again, it's a nice little addition. I think it's £99, which works out to something like 135 US, and yeah, it takes 3 to 4 weeks once they receive the 2 to 3 weeks, once they receive the sample to when they've processed it and filed it and got all the results, and they send you this little link. I believe you can access it via an online portal. So it's nice and convenient, nice and simple, and great little addition to the Bulk family, who again just recently revamped itself. We're now going to shoot to all the excitement that happened in the US, and there was quite a bit. The first bit of news we have comes from GFuel, who announced another collaboration. They've been pretty much on fire for the past year or two. The collaborations, I remember I was actually in the story we wrote about this specific one. We went back to try and sort of record and figure out the brand's very, very first collaboration. That was Phaseberry, which I can't even remember when that first came out. I think it's well over 5 years ago, maybe even more than that. But back then that was really all they did. They didn't do one after another after another. It was only in the past couple of years that GFuel has been just hammering them out and going beyond collaborations with ambassadors and individuals and doing things with companies and basically pretty much any kind of thing. They did it with MoonPie, obviously. They've done it with more ambassadors, gaming streamers, Twitch itself, gaming characters, games themselves. You got Mortal Kombat, Crash Bandicoot, Sonic the Hedgehog. They've been doing a phenomenal job at bringing some excitement and creativity. And this past week, they announced another collaboration with, I guess, another type of person or a type of thing that is very different from their usual. They partnered with the Grammy-nominated rapper Logic for a boysenberry flavor called Bobby Boysenberry. It's going to be available for the original GFuel supplement, energy and focus boosting supplement, and the GFuel energy drink. True to its name, as I mentioned, it is a boysenberry flavor featuring all the same ingredients in the supplement and the beverage, including 300 milligrams of caffeine in the GFuel energy drink. Both products will be available through gfuel.com when they eventually roll out, with the supplement coming on the 17th of February, although the energy drink is not coming until much later, somewhere in April. When the tub does roll out, though, you will get that special edition collector's box. This is something we've seen them do. I'm pretty sure it's every single one. I haven't kept track, but it's where they create like a little limited edition box that contains the supplement, the tub itself, and a shaker, and of course the box is themed around the collaboration, and it's only like a few dollars more for the collector's box. So it's, if you're a fan, or even if you just want a shaker, it's well worth the investment. But they do go fast. I remember them announcing details on launches and stuff like that going on like only 2 hours later, and some of these boxes are just snapped up in well before I even get there. So they do go fast, and so it's good to see them continuing that. The next one we have to touch on is news from Inspired, and they had 2 bits of news last week. The first one we'll talk about is the rebrand. So basically, Inspired is going to revamp its entire line in terms of look and, I guess, organization. So if you remember State of the Union, it features a very notably different look to any of the supplements in the Inspired lineup, bar maybe Devastate BBD, although Devastate BBD is an exclusive to Australia. And so those 2 supplements, they have this like a nice big graphic on the face. They don't really have too many call outs, any details like increase energy, enhance focus. It's really focused on the graphic, and they keep it pretty much subtle, very subtle, and they put a lot of attention to detail on things like the race print and the colors and the effects. And so basically, from what I understand, the signature series, there's going to be 2 series. One of them is going to be, I believe, consisting of those, graphics first branding designs, such as Devastate BBD, Devastate of the Union. And then the other line is going to be called the Signature Series. And the Signature Series is going to include things like CR3. And they revealed a first look at CR3, or at least the newly branded CR3. We shared it on our website and our Instagram and everything. And so that's going to feature the same formula, but it's going to have that new Signature Series look. Now, I don't know what the split's going to actually be, so I don't know every supplement that's in the Signature Series or every supplement that's in the other series. By the sounds of things, I guess it's the more basic items, maybe like CR3, Legend, I guess, multivitamin, greens. They'll be in the Signature Series. I'm just guessing based on this. I guess the less notable and hard-hitting and advanced supplements will be in that line, and then you'll get the more premium things like the Devastate BBD, like the Devastate of the Union. FSU, I imagine, would be a good fit for that one too. And the other bit of news we have is actually in regards to another supplement that features that art first face label design, and that is Ember Rebirth. And so Ember is Inspired's reputable stimulant fat burner. They're coming out with a new version basically called Ember Rebirth, and you can go to our site and you can check it out. And so we've got a picture of it, and it does continue that theme of BBD and State of the Union with that big bold artwork on the face on the front and taking the lead. And that's so I imagine, I'm starting to think that's going to be one of those supplements. That's going to be a theme in that other line outside of the Signature Series rebrand. Ember Rebirth, we don't really know too much about. We only know that it's pretty much going to be like the original, designed to provide like a comprehensive weight loss experience with things like energy, focus, metabolism, thermo, weight loss support and stuff like that. I don't know what any of the ingredients are, but Inspired has always been, that's one of if anything, improvement. That's what they do. They improve product on product, sequel on sequel. And I mean, that's what we got with Devastate. And I suspect that's what we're going to get with the new Ember. I never actually got to try the previous Ember. I got to try the one prior. It was incredibly effective. I was told the sequel to that was meant to be top 5 level. I never got around to running it. So I imagine Ember Rebirth is going to be another step up. And so I might actually have to get my hands on this one and give it a run. After Devastate of the Union, still our number 1 rated pre-workout, I wouldn't doubt that this is going to be equally as impressive. We'll share the formula and stuff like that when it becomes available, but I believe the supplement itself is rolling out within the next couple of weeks. Full details obviously coming in between or around that time, but we'll have it all on our website. And the last story we have, and this was, I guess, the most exciting piece we had during the week, and it is Apollon Nutrition completely unveiled the new formula behind Bare Knuckle, or Hooligan Bare Knuckle, which is the Apollon's stimulant-free pre-workout. Now, if you know Hooligan's formula or you've seen it, you'll know, I think it goes for all Apollon supplements, they're pretty fucking loaded. That's as simple as you can put it. The team at Apollon Nutrition really pushes the boundaries as best it can from sequel to sequel. And what's made that so impressive and works so well for the brand is because it refreshes these formulas every year. This isn't a 2, 3, 4, 5 year thing. They do it every year. Things like Hooligan, Assassin, Overtime, Chaos, and Hooligan Bare Knuckle. And each time they push the envelope, they raise the bar, they try and do things better. And if they don't, they don't do it. As simple as that. Fortunately for them, they've been able to raise the bar each time. And that is indeed the case with the new Hooligan Bare Knuckle. They've simply taken an already packed out stimulant-free pre-workout that really focuses on delivering intense pumps, and they've made it better. And you can see the formula on our website, but just to give you a rundown, it is one of the most loaded stimulant-free pump pre-workouts I've seen. It doesn't have any nitrates, which it would have been nice to see. It's a good favorite feature of mine. But it's outside of that, it's not short on much. So the lead ingredient, you got 8 grams of pure citrulline. This isn't citrulline malate, this is pure citrulline. Then you got 2.5 grams of betaine, 1.5 of agmatine. Estrogens in there as well to help with absorption of everything. 600 milligrams of Vaso-6, so twice that usual 300 that we typically see. And then alongside that, they've also got ingredients, because as I mentioned, this is a stimulant-free pre-workout, and while it does help with pumps, a lot of its ingredients and dosages are dedicated to pumps. It has a few things in there for mental focus as well. So if you take it, if you really are taking it to just have a pre-workout without stims rather than something you could stack with a Hooligan or even Assassin, you get that benefit of added focus as well. And so alongside that, it's got 3 or 4 focus ingredients. There's a hefty 2 grams of tyrosine in there, lion's mane at a full 1 gram, alpha GPC at 600 milligrams, and I think that's the focus side. So it's intended to be a stimulant free, but it's far, like I said, it's a pretty loaded pump pre-workout, stim-free pre-workout, and I have to imagine it would pair incredibly well with Assassin. I mentioned this in the post when we wrote about the new Bare Knuckle. Assassin is Apollon's more heavy stim pre-workout, while Hooligan is still quite strong on the stims. It's more focused on a balance experience. It's more focused on providing energy, focus, pumps, and performance. Assassin is mostly energy and focus. It does have other things in there, but it's mostly about energy and focus, which is why I think something like Bare Knuckle would just pair like crazy with Assassin, purely because it fills the other end of the spectrum that Assassin isn't really touching. I had never tried the previous Bare Knuckle. I have tried Hooligan, have tried Assassin, have tried Overtime, and when it comes to those 3, the Apollon it truly does live up to its reputation. They're all intense, powerful supplements in their own right, so I'm definitely going to have to give this a go when I can, and I will be saving half a tub of Assassin just to stack it with that new Bare Knuckle. when I can. But for this week's episode, that is it. We do have another interview coming up later this week. Obviously, we've been doing them as best we can once a week. I think it was Kevin Lavone who was out last week. Great episode, great conversation. Hopefully everyone caught that. That was it was a awesome time. And as I mentioned in that interview, one of the most famous, I guess, guests in terms of bodybuilding that we had on the show outside of the likes of Jay Cutler. But we'll have another one coming up later this week. And until then, we look forward to having you listening back in.